Hello, everyone, and welcome to Be Inspired. This is Blue Balloon Theatre's podcast brought to you by Rebecca, which is me. I am the artistic director of the theatre company, and we set up this podcast to connect with creatives all around the performing arts industry and ultimately just chat about their journey, their creative lives, and sort of what inspires them. And today I'm joined by Saira. Hello.
Hey Becca, how are you? So great to see you.
And you? I'm really well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, just pounding through Ramadan. So,
Have you been finding it so far?
it's all right. It's easy because I think, like, when you kind of like start from a particular age, you become like used to it.
Yeah,
So that's why how it is. Like, once you fast, like the first one, it might be a bit daunting, but then, like, as you kind of progress on, the body gets used to it.
yeah,
No, I think I started when I was like young, and it was, I didn't understand it that much now, but kind of like become used to it. And it goes really quick as well, and it goes back 10 days every year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Learn something
yeah,
new every day.
yeah, it goes back 10 days every year. So next year will go back 10 days again, and
Oh, okay.
it'll be at the beginning of April, and then I think the year after that it will come into March.
Right. Oh,
So
very
slowly,
interesting.
slowly, slowly it's going into the winter time again, going back to the winter time. And that used to be like, I think 4 p.m. it used to open those days.
Yeah,
I remember when I was young, I used to come back from school and it would open.
yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, how interesting. I'm really glad to learn that. I didn't know that at all. Well, let's first and foremost, let's introduce ourselves to you. Tell us a little bit about you and like sort of how you came to be a writer and a poet, and yeah, let's start there.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Saira. I go by the handle name of Saira The Poet on Instagram. How I came to the poetry journey it's a long story, but it's short. I will tell you a bit about where I'm from. I'm from Manchester, an area called Old Trafford. So I grew up in Old Trafford, and then I got into poetry, which was in May 2012. So a year before I landed a marriage proposal from Australia, and then I moved there. And then within like 3 months, everything just turned upside down. And then I came back depressed and traumatized from that experience. Then that experience led me to writing poetry. So it was therapy at first, but then it turned into poetry. And then out came my first book, The Death of a Beautiful Dream. Let me show you the book if I can find it. The Death of a Beautiful Dream, a poetry collection, which is out in 2014, January 2014, and it hit the top 20 bestsellers in Amazon.
That's
So,
amazing.
uh, and it was round about, I think, a year after it released, it was in the top 20. We don't know how long it was there for, but it was there. It was in the top 20. It was a longer, it was one of my favorite poets, Rumi. It was kind of like together
Oh
next to
wow.
it. Yeah, it was in the top 20 in that particular category. I can't remember what category it was, but it just kind of like made the top 20.
That's brilliant. And
Mm.
did you self-publish?
Yeah, self-publishing. My time back then, it was Create Space, which was an Amazon-based company. And I think when I did it, I don't think that many self-published poets were around. I don't think that many were publishing when I did it in 2014. And then, I mean, since then, I'm proud of a lot of people who have published their own books.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. How was that for you in terms of sort of starting to write poetry as a therapy and then finding that it turned into writing for passion, I suppose? How did that feel it, you know, when you started writing it? It must have been like offloading loads of emotions.
Yeah, it was offloading. I mean, a lot of my poetry is dark poetry. You know, if anyone who's read my book will see it's not what you see on my Instagram, you know, now.
Yeah,
And I feel like it's changed a lot, and a lot of it was just to get out what I'd gone through, was to let out all that, you know, all that thing that I'd gone through, all the depression, all the traumatizing experience. I mean, a lot of it, I have written uplifting pieces in there. There's like some on family ties, friendship. There's, you know, my version of love. You can find all sorts of pieces in the book, predominantly based on, you know, hardship and anything, a life company change, you know, life changing experiences. And
yeah,
for me, I never thought I would be doing what I am now. Is taking that, just that particular experience to get me here. And
yeah,
I kind of like see it now is all meant to be. But maybe, you know, I was meant to be Saira the Poet, and the rise and birth of Saira the Poet was meant to happen. That's the way that I see it.
yeah. No, that's brilliant. That's so amazing that you could sort of get all of that experience that you'd had, that you know, the negativity that you'd experienced out in poetry form, and then for it to turn into this. And you know, now Saira the Poet is here, and you write incredible work. You really, really do. That must be amazing.
You know, I know, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I never knew that I could actually write like that. I
Yeah.
never knew, because I never knew there was the poet hiding inside of me. I'm like, people will say, oh, that was your hidden talent, you know, from the patience of you, you know, of what you've gone through, that was your, you know, gift, you know, from
Yeah,
the Almighty, because of what you had been through, you know. And kind of like, I've learned to kind of accept that experience. And I've always been one of the person who's always wanted to help people. And now I thought, okay, I've got the chance now because I've been through it myself.
yeah,
You know, back then maybe when I used to help people, I wouldn't have had that much experience. But now that I've experienced it myself, decided to use that experience to help others. That's why I began writing.
yeah. That's
And
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm sure many, many writers would love to write and know that they help other people. And I mean, I feel like that when I read your poetry on Instagram. I always find there's a sense of healing in it. Even now, you know, I'm sure you probably know better than anyone how much your poetry has changed over the years. And that's something, I mean, tell us a little bit about that. How, when you read your poetry now, how does it make you feel?
it makes me feel kind of like, you know, I can tell I've changed, because when I first began to write, I used to write every day, every single day, because something would just flow naturally in my mind. And that's how I write anyway, naturally, what, you know, how it naturally comes to me, the words, I let the words flow. So like if you and me are talking now and I've got something flowing in my head, I write it down straight away, because then I know if you're not going to come back to it later, it's going to go.
Yeah,
But yeah, allow the words to flow naturally. I do feel I have changed a lot, because back then it would have been darkness. There's darkness to light poetry,
yeah,
you know, and a lot, like I was saying in the actual book, I've drawn lessons taken from the experience that I've had, each experience. And basically, the poetry I do now is to reach out to others who've been through similar experiences or otherwise, and that's why I began to write. And it's primarily women I wanted to help, you know.
yeah. That's brilliant. That takes me really nicely onto the next question I was going to ask you, actually, which was, is there a theme within your writing? Do you feel like there's something that you continuously come back to? So you just said there, for example, like you want to help women. So is that, would you say that's a theme within your poetry?
Yeah, there are some prompts I've written, like, there was a prompt I did called I Am a Woman
Yeah,
that I did for one of the platform pages on Find Me Alice. With me, I kind of like tend to focus on hope, giving people hope. I tend to write any like uplifting, try to spread any sort of positivity through my pieces, hope, love, and light. That's the kind of like pieces I kind of like to focus on. I kind of do like free verse, poetry, prose, anything that comes to me. Or if I see a particular prompt I love from the platform pages, I'll use it.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's brilliant. I think that's such a good idea. That's something that I discovered really recently, is how having a writing prompt, you know, whether it's from a theatre company or a poetry page, it can make you write in a way that you maybe didn't think you could.
Yeah.
And it's a really useful tool, I think, for a lot of poets. So in terms of where you're at now, obviously you've been writing now for several years. How, if you could maybe go back to when you first started and sort of give yourself or the people you're around some advice in terms of writing poetry, what would your advice be, do you think?
My advice would be kind of like, ask around people that you can send it to get proofread for anyone that get them to have a look at it. If, you know, I mean, kind of like with me, kind of like realize that if I always find minor errors in my Instagram pieces, and it kind of like it freaks me out, like a little typo here and there. It's like, oh God, I've kind of posted it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Try to like read over your work thoroughly, properly before posting it out, or get someone to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that's in poetry, and then they will read it, and then if you're happy with it, post it. Or if you're happy not editing it, then post it, however you feel. Because I know a lot of writers don't really edit their work. I don't think, but it's totally up to an individual. I mean, like, even now, I kind of like send it to people to check and get their feedback before posting it on my Instagram. I've always had that habit, you know, from the beginning of my writing journey, because I used to get upset. People used to say, "Oh, it's not that great," but then practice makes perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I would say. Keep writing and writing. And, anyone who's out there, join the Instagram platform pages. They're really good. Use like the various hashtags to get noticed by the community. You know.
Yeah,
Because then you have a lot of pages on Instagram that feature pages, they feature your work, and that's how they get to know your work. You
yeah.
have to use a particular hashtag of the page, and then they choose pieces from the hashtag, and then they like feature poet.
That's brilliant. That's something that I've recently discovered, is like feature pages on social media. You seem so like, the way you post your work and get it out there is just amazing. Like, it's so admirable. And that's something that I wanted to ask, actually. Like, have you always had that sort of want and urge, and I suppose in a way confidence to just put it out there for people to read? Has that always been there, do you think?
No, I'm going to be honest. When I first started, I started my platform page, Instagram page in 2013. I used to post, and then I was like, people are not taking notice of my work. Same with my Facebook page, Saira Anwar Inspired Poetry. When it first started, people are not taking notice of my work. I said, okay, then I'll stop posting my work. I'll just use random people that I know, my favorite poets from Facebook, and post their work. People started noticing that. And then because I had my younger brother, he helped me. He designs content for my pages, for Facebook page and Instagram pages. And he's been supporting me now past 8 years of my writing journey. So now I've become confident. It's like, okay, I'm going to put my work out there. And then I think, because I started this account in 2013, I wasn't called Saira the Poet then. I was called Poetess_786. And it was a private account, so I used to just post pictures of me or eating food, having gone out, like the normally that you do. Because
Yeah.
on Instagram, people have a personal page and a writing page. For me, I only have that one account. And I think we rebranded it in 2016 to Saira the Poet. So that Saira the Poet came alive in 2016 on Instagram.
That's amazing. Oh, you know what I love about your post as well is the fact that I'll see it pop up on my timeline and I'll know that it's yours because of the design, because of the writing, everything. And I love that because that's like your signature style in terms of the visuals.
Yeah.
And then obviously when you read it, like I was saying before, there's something so honest and so comforting about your poetry. There's definitely a sense of healing there and compassion, definitely. Is there any particular sort of styles of poetry that you enjoy or that you feel you've turned to again and again?
Yeah, I love kind of like the free verse or like prose or free verse. I never knew I was writing prose until there was a platform page I work for, Unite from the library, and they did Poet of the Month interview for me last year.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, is there a particular reason why I write prose? And said, I never knew that I do prose because it just comes naturally. Because I had bought this book by Mary Oliver. Oh, also, anyone who wants to know that I was recommended this book when I first started. This is Mary Oliver's Poetry Handbook, a prose guide to understanding and writing poetry.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is where I got my prose style from her, Mary Oliver. I was talking about the book. I finally found it. Oh, Rampaging, that's the book. I don't know if you can see that.
That's brilliant.
And see, the book is just about focusing on the cruel realities of relationships. The poems express the hardships accompanying life-changing experiences. So that's the back, and I've got like this quote by Rumi. Everyone has been made for particular work, and the desire for that work has been put in every heart.
Amazing. Oh, that's so good. You know what? I don't think I knew that you had a book out.
I don't think a lot of people on Instagram, because I've never ever promoted it on Instagram, because I've been, see, the issue with me is because I've been focusing on my poetry page on Facebook, I've neglected my Instagram page.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of followers you see now, I didn't have that when I first started.
Yeah.
And that's how it's come about, is because I've been a part of different platform pages over the years, either as a live reader or featuring poets from the community, doing lives. And then people have seen me doing lives, and that's how they've started following me, and I following them back.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been confident sharing my work because you don't know who out there might plagiarize it, or who out there might copy it. And it's just having that confidence. And then I thought, okay, then, well, if I'm gonna, like my brother used to pep talk, are you ready? Really, you might get criticism. Are you really ready for it all? And I thought, okay, then why not have a go? Let's put it out there.
Yeah. Why not? You just got to go for it sometimes, haven't you? And that's amazing that you had that kind of support as well from your brother. That's so lovely.
I mean, also I want to know that obviously people, or just let people know that not everyone's going to like our poetry, and that is okay.
Yeah.
And those who will appreciate will come to you at the right time,
Yeah.
in the right time, in the right place, you know.
Definitely. I think that's really good advice, because especially for anyone that's starting out in terms of sharing their work, sharing their poetry on social media, not at first, not many people may see it, as you've said, and you know, people may not connect with it in the way that you maybe want them to, but everyone is completely different, and I, like you just said, and rightly so, people will see it at the right time, definitely, and they will, you know, get in touch with you at the right time.
Going back to the previous question you asked about any advice to writers, also want to say that when you start your journey, be sure to know, understand what it is you want,
Yeah.
and have a target and achieve. What's the intent? Everything you do will be dictated by this. Sure, there'll be some setbacks, but you have to get back up no matter how many times that may be. Never allow anyone to put you down. Always make sure you proofread your work before putting it out there. Make a final draft of your work. Make any changes you feel necessary. Like I said, you know, was saying earlier, ask for feedback from other writers. They are there to help you and support you and answer any questions you may have about how to, you know, about writing and how to get your work out there. Don't be afraid to ask this.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's some amazing advice in there. I'm making notes here. I'm like, whoa. I'm gonna. This is gonna be a first for the Be Inspired podcast. But would you be up for reading some of your poetry?
Yeah, sure.
Amazing. Yes.
Anything from my book, man. Anna, but how about something from my book
Yeah.
and then Instagram piece? Then you can notice the difference.
Yeah, that's a great shout, actually. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go for it. Oh,
This one was inspired by my favorite beach in Australia. You might have know of it, the Gold Coast in Brisbane, in Queensland.
yeah.
So this one was inspired by that beach. The ocean of hopes and dreams. I walk alone and find myself where no one had been before. Together the ocean waves swirl and smack over the golden sun, the ocean of dreams, the ocean of hope that further plays upon thy heart. Within the deepness of the ocean lies the silent breeze of hopes and dreams, where you can find faith and peace, even when you do not dream. As the existence of hopes and dreams lie within, you take a leap and immerse yourself in its deepness. The ocean of hopes and dreams begin to sink in upon this vast ocean. Me, a lonely soul, over the ocean waves, and across the beach stand I found myself where no one had been before. The ocean of hope and dream, where my untold journey began.
Oh, I love that. That was beautiful. There's so much. What I loved about that was the imagery, because I connect so much with imagery, and I can picture it. Like, I've never been there myself, but I can picture it. That's quite a gift there you've got, Saira. Quite a gift.
Okay, and next one I will read is from my Instagram. This is a nature piece. It was prompt. And now that spring is here and love blooms in me. Now that spring is here, it's full. It's in full bloom, full season, shining upon us every morning, every day. You can smell the scent of spring's homecoming in the air. Flowers bloom, plants grow, springing the rays of the golden sun, bringing love to everything you grow on top. Your scent entering within our lungs warms our hearts and souls. The sun is beaming with spring's arrival. Every morning puts a new glow towards better days ahead, keeping the spirit of hope alive. Love blooms in me in multitudes to pass it on to every soul that crosses my path in life, scattering that love in multifolds to all I dearly love from the depths of the heart and soul. Love blooms in me, reminding myself to keep the love for myself, reminding to not forget myself in the process, creating art through this love that blooms within, create a garden full of love, to share this love with everyone through planting seeds of love, healing words from my heart to yours, building a foundation of love. Love is what unites us all together. It's a missing piece to the jigsaw puzzle. It's a missing piece to the jigsaw puzzle. It's the foundation pillar in life.
Ah, well done. Oh, that was beautiful. You can really, really tell the difference. Like, there was a sense of light, and like you said, there was a real sense of hope in that. It was beautiful, beautiful work, Saira. Like,
And one thing that will be honestly, I never knew how to write, and I'm being honest here. I never knew how to write. I did high school poetry. I don't think I must have been into poetry. And I remember doing Shakespeare, Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet. I remember writing my first poem in English called Blossom, but I can't remember any of it. And I remember getting a book from the library that was inspired by, I think it was horror one. I ended up writing my own horror story. So,
yeah,
maybe it was there in high school, but I never knew because I was in the bottoms there and I was bullied in high school like for 5 years,
yeah,
and that had an effect on me as well.
yeah. No, I can imagine. Well, look at you now. I bet those bullies are like, oh my goodness, like you've completely surpassed them and you are soaring, which is incredible. And writing is such an incredible outlet. Rightly, it
Yeah, I
does.
agree.
It has healing powers. I truly believe that it does. I know from my own personal experience, it has helped me process things in ways that I probably wouldn't have been able to. And just speaking to you today has been really, really inspiring to hear how you've, dealt with circumstances within your life through the use of poetry. That's amazing.
I mean, like for me, I see poetry as more than a hobby outlet. A lot of people say to me, it's about time you got paid. I said, yeah. I mean, I love to make a career out of poetry. That's what I'm focusing on now because I've been doing it for 8 years, like giving. I would like to, earn some money, but it kind of like at the same time you got to think realistically as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good to have balance, isn't it,
Yeah.
within your life, and if you can have it as, I mean, it's so clear how passionate you are about poetry, which is incredible. I think to have that is something you like. Anyone that has that passion, hold on to it, absolutely hold on to it. And if you can do it as much as you possibly can, whilst doing other things as well, to keep money coming in, then I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, my other side is I work with children as a profession. I've been doing that since over 15 years now. I used to be a nursery nurse, used to work in private day nurseries. I got fed up of it.
Yeah,
I always wanted to work in a school, and then I joined Randstad Education. They're an agency, so I work with them. I've been with them, I think, since 2018, 3 years now. So I've been working with them, like short-term and long-term work as a TA, long fly, short day-to-day, long-term in schools. So I'm loving it now. So I've had that 3-year experience in different schools.
that's brilliant. That's so good. And my final question for you, Saira, is who inspires you, or what inspires you?
What inspires me is my life experiences that have brought me to poetry, those life lessons and life experiences, because without those, I wouldn't be here today. And no one would know who Saira the Poet was, and you and me wouldn't be talking now, you know.
Yeah. That's
And what I mean, who inspires me? Loads of people inspire me. Rumi inspires me because Rumi is one of my favorite poets.
yeah.
I'm kind of like into that like spiritual mystic type of poetry, and Rumi does that to me, you know.
Yeah, amazing. I'm definitely going to check
I
them
mean,
out.
that's how like me and Famida met. I used to be live reader for Bleeding Soul. Famida texted the page, and that's how I got to know Famida.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then Famida introduced me to you guys, because then I remember, you know, when you did the interview with Famida, that's how I got to know you.
Yeah, yeah. No, I remember. I remember it very well. No, it's such a small world, isn't it? You know, everyone knows each other, and I think the thing that I love about the poetry community so far is how supportive everyone is. It's really amazing.
Same. I'm taken back as well. Everyone's so supportive and loving in this community, and
Yeah,
that's how it should be.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that seems like a smashing point to end this podcast, and I cannot thank you enough for coming on today, Saira.
Thank you for having me on, Becca.
Oh, it's an
Lots of love.
absolute pleasure. Lots of love.
Thank you.
I know you've already mentioned your Instagram account and your Facebook, but do you want to mention them again for anyone that wants to give you a little follow?
Yeah, sorry. I'm also on like Facebook, Saira Anwar Inspired Poetry. You can find me on Twitter as well, Saira the Poet. Same handle name for Instagram, Saira the Poet. I'm also on TikTok, Saira the Poet as well. I'm like literally everywhere.
You've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I do have a YouTube channel.
You've got a YouTube channel as well. You're on everything.
Yeah, I know. I'm literally on everything. And my I'm trying to remember what my channel name is. It's Saira Anwar, I think, yeah, on my YouTube channel. There it is. I don't know if you can see it, but there was
Saira
a video
Anwar.
posted from 4 years ago, Be the Beacon. That's on my YouTube channel, Saira
Amazing.
Anwar.
Amazing. Well, ladies and gents, go and check out Saira the Poet because she's on every form of social media apparently. Thank you so much, Saira. It's been such a joy. And for everyone that's been watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and a comment on the video, and we'll meet you there. If you've been listening on Spotify, Anchor, or anywhere else that you get your podcast, then thank you so much for listening. It really, really means the world. And yeah, thank you so much, Saira.
Lots of love, Steve Becca. See you
That's
soon.
enough. See you soon.
You too. Bye.